Hey, everybody, this is James Pelton. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. It is so good to see you and talk with you. I am excited about this chat today. This is not a normal AMA with the project, like I normally do. But I've been talking with Crypto Phil for a little while here. And one thing that's really struck me is how he uses his money to help other people. So that's what I really wanted to talk about because my channel is mostly a passive income channel, and part of what we're trying to do is we're trying to help everybody make a lot of money, right? But you're really not doing people a service if you just help them make money, but then don't help direct them in what they're going to be doing with that money. What I end up with is you end up with a lot of young men who are just looking to get super rich and when Lambo and when Caribbean island that I can go buy for myself and things like that. And what I've found with a lot of people is when they make the money they've been trying to make, they actually end up in a worse position than they were before because they use all their money on themselves, and it actually ends up making you miserable. And a lot of people don't believe that. But so I wanted to have Crypto Phil on and just have you kind of introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about your journey, talk a little bit about your country, where you're from, and then talk about what you've been doing to help people around you and try to get my audience and myself also get us thinking about what we can be doing to help people in our community, and also if there's anything we can do to help people in your country as well. So Phil, thank you so much for hopping on. Can you start by just kind of introducing yourself and give a little bit of your background?
Yeah, so first of all, huge thank you for having me here. I can't believe I was watching your AMAs, like you have like so many AMAs. I cannot even keep track on them. And then I was thinking, that's this guy. I need to have chat with him like AMA like today. And then one day what's happened, I say, but what's his link? Like how to find his link? I don't have it. And then one day somebody posted in my chat, in my Telegram chat, said, hey, I just did a AMA with James Pelton. Please follow. And then your name was a pop-up there, and I just send you, hey James, hi, this is Crypto Phil, this is my video, and you say, dude, great, this is what I like, let's crack on for AMA. I said, wow, my dream just come true earlier before Christmas. And so before we go on, everybody, just to know, my name is Phil, Crypto Phil in the YouTube. I'm a YouTuber like James Pelton, not like him huge, but I'm much smaller. However, I'm doing something what most YouTuber have not been doing. So what's happening? So where I'm from, you say? So I'm from basically originally from it's a country called Macedonia. So few things you need to know about my country. And then, but I'm living in UK. I lived also in USA. So this is my seventh city I moved in my life with the wife. Now I have two kids, probably going to settle here for the next few years. However, I find YouTube very interesting with this crazy DeFi crypto space where we live in. I think we live in just amazing era. It's risky, it's crazy, it is what it is. We're in the middle of it, so we need to get the opportunity to use this opportunity. So let me give you a few facts about my country, by the way. So my country, few things. First, we have Alexander the Great. He's from my country. Probably you heard that. And then, right there, North Macedonia. So if you zoom in, it is my city will show that there was my even city right there. So basically, if you know in Bible, all right, if you know in Bible, I just write down Saint Paul, the Apostle Paul, he started the Christianity in Europe, in my country, if I'm not mistaken, and that was 60 years before Christ. Can you imagine 60 years before Christ he come to do the Christianity? Probably you don't know that. And then we have a very big person in my country. It's born Mother Teresa. She's born in my country. So she lived and served in India, but she's born in the capital, in Skopje. That's crazy, correct? And then what else we have? Oh yeah, we have a place. It's called Ohrid. So if you show the map, it's called Ohrid Place. So if you go a little bit down, there you go on the left, a little down and left, you will see Ohrid. Go left, there, left. Where's the lake? There we go. That's the one. So it's Ohrid. Okay, it's a huge lake. It's the second clearest, clear lake in all the world. Okay. So this place is very spiritual because one time there were 365 church there. For every day of the year, we had one church. It's something remarkable. You must go there. Of course, with the wars, most of them are destroyed, but it's a very crazy things there. You need to go. It's like you need to go and visit. It's cheap. It's so cheap to go there and stay. It's beautiful. So that's about where I'm from. So. And then I start my crypto channel. I'm a physiotherapy, by the way. I work in the hospital here in UK. And all my life, I've been working with people with problems, and also I work with kids with special needs, and that was the hardest ever job I did in my life. The hardest, emotional, physically not so much, but emotional, because most of the kids don't, they cannot survive 5-6 years, and then you see them how they suffer and all this stuff, and then I back off. I say I can't do this anymore. It's just too much. Kill me emotionally. And then you see the parents are suffering and it's hard. And then I work every single day with people with problems, with disease, with illness. And people need to appreciate what we have. We are not happy. We just want, like earlier you mentioned, Lambo, when Ferrari, listen, step back, see where you are, be happy, be grateful for what you have, because a lot of people don't have that. So we did little traveling around the world with the wife. We did over 40 countries. We did to Bali, India. Oh, Make it screaming. We did like Bali, India, like China, like everywhere, like in a lot of countries. And you see how people live very poor, And then my country is not rich, but it's not poor. Poor is like normal. It's just a sad things to see. And then I always give back. Like I opened my studio back home, and I did private physiotherapy for free. If you don't have money, I'm not taking you money. If you come from different city for treatment, I would say, listen, you come from different cities, free. And people say, why? I say, because you travel 40 miles, 50 miles to come to me. You spend all that time, gas money. I don't ask you for any money. And usually people just leave me more money. It's crazy. I also did a lot of things in my life to donate. What I'm very, very proud, and I don't want to mention because sometimes it's not good. However, what I find out, James, is I start crypto, correct, and then we use miners and all that stuff, and sometimes referrals, and I got some money from referrals. It was 7-8 months ago, and I said, wow, I make like a few $100 from referrals. That's like, wow, that's incredible. And then people join my teams, and I say, you know what? I need to give something back. And I met a guy from the Philippines. We become friends. He started helping me. I give him some money for him, and then he was a Muslim, so it was their Ramadan day. I say, you know what? Here, like a money, go and give to the mosque or wherever, for your day. And he says, Phil, all the time what you've been giving money, I will take part and I will give to people. I say, wow, that's an incredible idea. Here more money. And I say, you know what? Let's spread the love around the world. So we start giving, so I say, okay, let's do like this. You find poor people, very, very poor people. I will send you some money. You take a little bit for yourself and just give more. Just buy food, document, so the people can see we are real. Because so many YouTubers, so many out there, yeah, we're giving donation, we're doing this, but where? I never see that, Like even giving in charity, I don't believe that, because we don't know where the money ending up. So I just did number 27 video for donations on record, and I have over 25-30 videos off record, so I've been giving so many times. Sometimes people will scam me, what is very sad, because I will send them like money for some donation, and they will delete their Telegram. It's like so crazy. I say, and now I start in Philippines, now I have amazing guy in India, and now I start in Africa, and I just have 4 more videos for the next 4 weeks already. Now it's like crazy. So I'm trying to copy paste my project to all these developers, but nobody wants to do that because nobody can earn anything. They just need to give. So sorry about the long chat, but that's a little bit.
No, that's awesome. No, you said a lot of things that I really, want to talk about because I love that. The first thing I'd like to ask you about is, so Jesus said, I'm a strong Christian. That's a big part of. So you're right, Apostle Paul. That's a good person to talk about to me. But Jesus says that it makes you happier to give than to receive. Is something that he said. Can you talk a little bit about your experience? A lot of people think that when they have a lot of stuff or fancy stuff, that's what's going to make them happy. But can you talk about your experience? That I believe that you are happier when you give to other people than you are when you receive things for yourself. Do you just want to talk about your experience with that?
Let me give you so many examples. I work with stroke patients, okay? So stroke patients, somebody don't know what stroke, you get your brain problems, okay? You have, heart attack in your brain, okay? So simply one of the side of your body is paralyzed. You cannot move let's say you affected your left side, your left arm, left leg, you cannot walk. And I work with patients like that a lot and with different diseases. And then you work every day for weeks and weeks. And then this guy, he's in bed. Then he become in the wheelchair. Then he start walking, not perfectly, cannot run, but he start walking. So you give something. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about physically. So do you know how is you cannot imagine what kind of feeling I have in my heart. This is like the best present I can have in my life. Make somebody happy in different ways. You must find your way. So giving back is the best thing you can do in your life. Again, I drive right now Polo, Volkswagen Polo 2004, two doors. I have two kids, by the way. It's old car. I can probably buy something more, but I don't want it. It's to remind me every single day where I'm coming from. Okay. It's you need to know, wait a minute, I'm still here. I don't want to fly, because sometimes you're forgetting where you are. When I live in America, I drove Mustang and I become Americanized, work one job, two jobs, 18 hours a day. You're getting money per hour, crazy. And then, the life turned around and hit me and I was on the ground. And I went back home and I drove 40 years old car and I cannot even drove. And I say, and then lesson learned, you always learn lesson. That's very important stuff. I think a lot of people looking all these crazy musicians and everybody who have huge yacht and cars and if you see all these commercials, oh, I bought this Lambo with crypto, I bought this. Wait a minute, wait, how real it is? Let's be realistic. 1% of the population they can afford. 80, 90, 95% they live very poor, and that's true. That's very true. You will see my next person who I'm doing a video for next week. She is a single mother in Ethiopia, and she lives no electricity. Imagine, no water, no electricity, no toilets. They don't take bath every day. We're taking bath here every day. How grateful we need to be. And then we give her food and little money, and she will be happy for 1 month. She was praying to me. You will see in the next video. I'm going to post it next Friday. And we need to understand that the biggest happiness what everybody can get is by giving something back in the universe, in life. Do something, not just money. Don't wait to have millions. Start with what you have. Like Will Smith says, I was listening to a video for motivation speech from Will Smith, and he says, it's not important how much you have, but what you do with what you have. And remember, when you die, somebody else is going to spend your money.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love that too, because I think a lot of people, when we talk about giving, they say, well, I don't have any extra money to give. So I love that you found a way to give of your services, because we all have some service or some skill that we have that other people don't have, that whether it be in my case maybe my YouTube platform, or financial knowledge, or whatever the case might be. So I'd love to hear in the comments if you guys if you don't think you have money to give, what are some other things that you could give? So Phil gives his services as a physical therapist, right? What are some of your skills that you could maybe be used to give to charity if you don't have the money to give away? That's awesome. Another thing you talked about that I wanted you to touch on is the place of gratitude. Because when I talk with you, that's one thing that I think you have a really good perspective on that a lot of people don't. We look at our losses in crypto. Even right now, we're talking about losing money. Well, a lot of us have lost money in a lot of projects. But can you just talk about the place gratitude plays in your life, and how that plays out practically in your life?
Yeah, so basically gratitude it's a big thing. I think my video is called More You Give, More You Receive, and I was watching your video last week, I believe, was from 0 to 6 million, and it was so good video, one of my top favorite in your old channel. I think you mentioned over there also, just go back a little bit to we talk about you don't need to have money. You mentioned a story there from Jesus Christ went to a church or temple or something, and then it was a lady widow who go there and just give 2 pennies. You say that, I didn't know that story. And then all these rich people go and just give a little bit, they're like money. And then Jesus says, wow, this lady give the most from everybody. And everybody said, no way, she only give 2 pennies, nothing we can do. And she said, no, she give everything what she had, and these rich people only give small portion. So I believe, as my back home, we have a saying. It's the hand who is giving never get dry. I'm trying to translate. So I translate in more you give, more you receive. And it's always like that in life. Yes, we always lose money. It's crypto. But what I'm doing is I'm taking profits a portion of my profits and I'm giving away. That's me. And also, thank you for everybody. Like, there's so many people who've been very generous and donate. Not about thousands. Even $5, $10, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I think that more you give, more you get back. It's just crazy. I don't know how to explain. It's like you must feel it. You must. And I think everybody is not like, oh, I'm going there and I'm giving and I'm waiting something in return. No, you give and you forget. That's about it. Just forget it. Don't even mention. Don't even talk. Even I went back home. I hate to give cash money. If I see poor person, I'll go and buy him food and I'll give him. If I go to some, let's say, I like to help with kids with special needs, and I go back home, like where I have like a center, and I'll go there and say, okay, I have some amount. What do you need? Oh, we need table, we need chair, we need this, we need that. Okay, I'm going buying and I'm going bring them there. I don't give money because I don't know where they're going to finish. I don't believe a lot. I don't believe in that a lot. Also, you say, like, you're Christian, I'm Christian, I'm Orthodox, I'm old school. Like, my Christmas is in 2 weeks, by the way, if you don't know. It's in January 7th. So I have like 2 Christmases.
Oh, there you go. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think you're totally right. I was the book of Proverbs in the Bible has been a big part of my journey. And it's Proverbs 11:25. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched. The one who waters will himself be watered. And there's other Proverbs that say, he who gives to the poor lends to the Lord. So like when you give to other people, you're actually you're lending to the Lord, and he is faithful. Now, if you're going at it, oh, I'll get rich by giving to other people, then the Lord will bless me and I'll get rich. That some people go that direction. That's not the right direction to go, but the Lord will take care of you if you give consistently. And I'm a wealth. If you look at the world, I'd be on the wealthier end of the world, and so I really worry about what Jesus said, where all these people give out of their excess, and so I try to make sure that I don't just give a little bit off the top, like, okay, I'm just give this, but I actually keep the widow's 2 pennies. These are 2 pennies from 30 AD, and I keep them on my desk to just remind me, man, if people need something, give everything I have. And one of my goals, and don't tell my kids because they might not like this, but one of my goals is that when I die, I end with no money. Is kind of what I want to do. I want to end my life at zero. Like I gave it all away, and that's where I'm at. So that's been my journey for sure. We got a lot of people in the comments. Yeah, I love this. Let's see. Every negative is an opportunity to find a positive. Absolutely. We have a kid in foster care. It's so nice to give a sustainable home to kids that don't have a good home. And that's a great way. If you don't have $50,000 to give to somebody, you can do foster care. That's great. I donated 200 pairs of shoes to foster kids in Mexico, drove 500 miles, very satisfying. And I don't know, Dale, if you have kids or were able to get your kids involved. But that's another thing, we have to think about on Christmas. We're giving our kids so many gifts. My grandparents are giving the kids gifts. My parents are giving gifts to the kids. And I want to remind the kids that it's going to make you happier to give than to receive. The Lord will bless all those that have. Yeah.
It depends on the kid's age. I think my kids are very small, so it's too hard to teach them. But I totally agree. I spoke with the wife. I think very, very, not soon, but wherever we get older, I think my kids need to grow up without knowing if we have a little bit more. Hopefully, if we have a little bit more, just kids don't need to know that, Like I grew up in the family, let's say middle class, a little bit poor, maybe middle. My mom is a teacher, maths and physics. My papa is a teacher. Again, back home it's not well paid. We have enough money just to study. And then when we went to university, my parents need to work like a couple of jobs. My mom 2 jobs, my father 2 jobs. I was working from 14 years old, 12 years old. I was going even picking up a berries in the woods, like in the summer, just to sell them, just to make some money extra for university. We have a little bit extra land. We sold that. We sold the car. We sold everything, just so we can pay off for the university. But everything is paid off. And I believe hard work. If you set up your goals in your life, again, if you go a little bit to what you want to achieve, it's not like, oh, I put in crypto $500 and I'll wait 10 years and I'll become a millionaire. No, it's like, so many other things you need to focus, set up the goal, set up a plan, and then, step by step, everybody can achieve their goals, in different ways. Of course, it's not easy. It's not easy. I think the biggest thing people need to understand, if you are healthy, if you have health, that's the okay. Let me say like this: sick, ill person have one wish. Healthy person have 100 wish. So if you're healthy, you have, oh, I want this, I want that. Sick person have only one wish, to be healthy. So if everything is fine with you, think about that. Like, think about that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'll say too, a common thing I hear is that, oh yeah, I don't give a lot now, but someday when I make more money, then I'll give. And from experience, and just I've seen this in dozens of people, if you're not generous with a little, you're not going to be generous when you have a lot. Like your standard of living is just going to increase, and you're going to be in the exact same situation. And Jesus says the same thing. He says, "He who is faithful with a little, I'll entrust with more." But if you have a little and you're not generous with the little that you have, why would God say, "Oh, I'm going to entrust you with more"? I mean, he watches and he sees, okay, how does he handle when I give him a little? So that's something I want. If you've used that excuse that, no, I'll give when I have more, it doesn't work that way. If you don't give when you have a little, you're not going to give when you have a lot.
I have experienced that myself. When I came to UK, my paycheck become 3 times more than my country, and I said, you know what, I'll take small. And even in crypto, when I started in crypto, I said, if I make, let's say, I don't know, $500 from crypto a month, I'll give $50. And then you make a 500, and that's okay. When I make 1,000, I'll give $50 again. Then you make 1,000, and then you say, okay, when I make 2,000, and then I say one day, what, stop it, go and start giving. And that's about it. I start giving, and I now I'm like addicted. The other day, my wife's parents says, we're going to send you $100 each for Christmas. They always give us like $100. And my wife watched one of the video what I'm going to post next week, and she says, you know what, that $200, we're going to buy food. I'm going to say to the poor, I got so motivated from you. I say, wow, my wife told me that. She support me so much. I'm so happy. I think we need to copy paste, James, this thing around the world everywhere. And I have so many people texting me like to say just huge thank you for coming and supporting my country, thank you for doing this. Even some people just give me $5-10. They say, Phil, this only thing what I can do. I say, you know what, just go and buy and just give to somebody. And just to earlier you mentioned, in the chat, like who can give with something. And I really say, if anybody is here from a country where it's very, very hard, like India, Africa, or Philippines, feel free, reach to me, and says, Phil, I'm happy to help, and we can work, we can do some videos, feel free to reach to me, like I'm open-minded all the time. Like from last AMA I had with Scott the Investor, one other YouTuber, she's also amazing. And then we had like 4 people reach to me from Ethiopia, from Africa, and like I said, wow, that's amazing, like that's amazing, let's do something good. That's the point. Even now, I just sent 1,100 Piston token airdrop, to my team. I was keeping for a month and a half, and I sent like next 10 days, I'm going to send like over like 2K in tokens, just for my members. Just give away, just take it.
That's awesome. I love that. Can I have a question. This is something that I've struggled with. So like Jesus says, and a lot of what I have to do is based on what Jesus says, right? But he says, when you give to the needy, don't sound a trumpet before you. And so like a big thing that was happening in his days is people would give with the goal of like, I want people to see me and see what I'm giving and, say how wonderful I am and things like that. And so I've struggled with, how much am I giving? Do I just keep quiet and just keep to myself? And how much I also want to encourage other people to give. And so, how much of it do I make public? I don't know. Have you struggled with that, or how do you find a balance there? Or do you just look at your heart, or how do you work through that?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question, James. So listen, yes, Jesus said that if you give, don't look. Like I mentioned earlier, if you go and give and just turn around, get out. So, but what's happened is, check this out. So I was thinking, earlier, I as I say, I did 27 on video, over 25 off video, donations. I'm talking about in crypto space, and so many in my life. However, I think we have the power, especially you're a huge YouTuber, to make. So I was thinking the same. I say, oh, it's not good, but from one way, but from another way, there are much more positive ways. I have so many people. Thank you. Some of the YouTubers start doing the same. I have sent me video. They struggle, but they did a couple of donations. I think maybe showing what we do is going to change some perspective of viewing the things that also, first thing, crypto is not, use only for shitty stuff, that also we can help somebody, that also you, like everybody who is watching now and tomorrow and next day, next year, they can, like you say earlier, don't wait to make thousands. Start with $10. Just go and take $10 and go and buy food and give to somebody. You don't need to have money. Go and help your neighbor. If somebody build up something, go and do some voluntary work. Go like in America or here, they go in soups, for the poor people. Just go and do something. Find what you can do and do it. And I agree to share on videos everything most of the things you do, of course, because I believe people need to learn, and hopefully they will copy paste you. Because now I'm helping kids in India. I find an amazing guy. Probably he's watching. Thank you so much if you're watching. I sent you the video, Santa Phil, like a couple of days ago. And they are kids from they're over 25 kids, and they're all homeless, and they study, and the teacher sometimes sometimes not, and then we hire a teacher now. I'm paying her every month paycheck every month to study them 5 days a week for 5 hours every single month, like every day for 5 days a week. And then I was thinking, can you imagine only 1 or 2 kids of these kids grow up and they say, wow, this guy Crypto Phil helped me when I need it, and now I want to give something back. Just think about that, is going to spread around. Not a lot, even one person, if you change the life, will be something miracle. All these people in the Philippines who we give, most of them go on in bed with empty stomach. Think about that, to go in bed with empty stomach every night. We talk about 5-6 times a week. It's very sad. They have 1 or 2 meals. It's just sad. It's so sad how people live. And I think we have the chance to help, and we need to show the world. Oh, I cannot hear you. Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, I can. Let's see. No. Give me a second.
Testing. Okay, I don't know what happened to my microphone, but I switched to my iMac microphone. I'm sure this is not going to be as good, but Mike, Phil, it's on my side. My mic died. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. No, it was
Okay,
all
good.
on me. My microphone for some reason is not working, but I just switched to my iMac audio, so no, we're good.
That's fine. We can still hear you.
Yes, good. No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think it comes down to your heart. So if you're giving and your goal is, oh, I want other people to see me, then you should stay quiet about it till you've worked through that in your heart with the Lord. And but once you've gotten to the point, I think, where your giving is not to impress other people, but it's something that you're doing between you and the Lord, then I do think there's a time to like kind of show people, hey, this is what I'm doing with my money. And I want, like Paul says, be imitators of me as I am of Jesus Christ. And I think there's a place, like, people are following me. I mean, they're even called followers on Twitter and things like that. And so I think there is a place to show that, but it's just, you have to be very careful with your heart, because it can be very easy to slip into, wow, I'm actually doing quite a bit of good in the world. So there's like a good balance there. You just have to work through in your heart. I don't know if you have any other thoughts about that.
No, I agree. I think whatever you feel. So you tell me, James, like you mentioned, you're giving to you trying to find widows and children in the in the foster homes. So I'm not sure if you're happy to share. Like, when did you start giving?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I've always wanted to be generous. Again, I grew up Christian, and so one of my biggest fears has always been that I'm going to get to heaven and not have done much in my life that really mattered. Like, oh, you just focused on building your kingdom, great, and just it being a waste. Like, I always am looking long term. And so I think, like, we say invest for retirement, which is like a 70-year, 60-year investment. But I think it's better to invest. I want what I'm doing now to affect in 10,000 years. Like, I want what I'm doing now to really last. And so, giving and helping other people is one way to do that. So I've always tried to. And then from the Bible, it says, pure and undefiled religion is this, to visit widows and orphans in their distress. And so widows and orphans in particular, I always think with men, sometimes there are men who try to scam me. Like, they come on and say, hey, I need this and this and this. And there are a lot of men I find that are lazy and just don't want to work and things like that. So I think when men ask me for money, I'm a little bit more careful about, okay, well, what's your situation? Why do you need this? But widows and orphans, I pretty much, if I see a widow or orphan in need, if I see a child in need, I don't have to, do they deserve this? Are they going to use it well? It's kind of just throw it at them. I mean, that's kind of the approach that I've taken. But yeah, I don't know if you have thoughts about that, about how you work through who to give to, because we only have limited resources, right? But how you work through who to give to, how to find people to give to. How do you work through some of that?
So in my case, it's totally different, because I think what I love to give to kids with disability. That's my one thing. However, second thing is, now when I'm doing with crypto, is I'm finding these people who helping me, and I say, look, find very, very, very poor person who don't have electricity, water, go and give them, buy food and just give them, and that's how I'm finding. And most cases are families or single mom, to be honest. It's like, of course, like, I've been scammed so many times, and it's happened. Very sad it's happened. Sometimes people don't buy food as is enough for the money. Let's say I will send them for $50 for a video, $60, and they will say, okay, I'll take a $10 for myself, and I will buy $40 for food, and they will buy the opposite, $10 for food, and they will take $40. And I'm not stupid, I can see that, but I always give them like a chance. But I think the best thing to help, I think for me, it's kids. That's number one, no question about that. That's kids with special needs, single parents, people with disability. My thing in my life is, let's say, if I have a much bigger amount, you always think what I can do. The funny stuff is, I asking always people, what are you going to do if you win lotto tomorrow? Let's say 50 million. So I'm asking you, what are you going to do? You win 50 million tomorrow. What are you going to do?
That's a great question. So if I won the lottery tomorrow, well, one thing that I found in my life is, I've very rarely had to go seek out people to give to. Like, God has brought a lot of people to me. Like, I just run into people who have needs. And so it's been quite a while since I've been sitting on money and been like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. Like, pretty much my monthly, God always brings in people. So honestly, if I had $50 million, if I won the lottery, I probably would hold on to it and just wait for God to bring people to me. And I'd wait for him to say, hey, here's somebody who has needs. And then one thing, if you had that amount of money, I wouldn't help people just a little bit. Like, if there's a single mom who needed something, I'd give her $200,000 and say, hey, let's set this up so you don't have to work anymore. You can just take care of your kids. And I try to, like, really help people. Sometimes I don't like that I'm only able to help kind of temporarily with people. Like, I give them $1,000 here, and that takes some pressure off, but it doesn't really, affect their life that much, long term. So that's probably what I would say. I would hold on to it, and I pray for the Lord. Hey, Lord, bring into my life the people that you want to see. I look at myself kind of as a funnel for his funds. So he gives me money, and then I wait and see who he wants me to give it to. And then I kind of just try to funnel it to those people. But what about you? $50 million, you win the lotto. What are you going to be doing with it?
One time I win 25,000, to be honest. It's crazy. Yeah. I was lucky. I win 25,000. That was nice. I took some money and I give away to my brother, to friends, just a little bit, not a lot, like 10%. Now, what I was thinking a lot. One time, I'm not saying if I win. I'm usually trying to say when I win, 50 million, 30 million. I'm saying I will take. I think what you're saying, I will do very similar. I will take step backs for 6 months. I will just do whatever I'm doing every single day, 6 months, and I'll think what to do. It's not like, oh, I'm going. Most people, 99% from the people, the first thing when they say, I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to buy a house, huge house with a pool, and I'm going to travel around the world. I say, wow, you solve the world miracle. Now, it's so common. I think I'm going to build up a hospital back home, a mini hospital, and I'm going to build up for people without limbs, with no legs, no arms. I'm going to build them up fake legs, arms, because they're very expensive, good quality, and I'm going to make them walk, and everything will be free. Or the charge will be just to pay off the staff, and the staff will be well paid. Everything who work there, it will be well paid, extra paid. You work holiday, you get double paid. You got this, back home is not so, how to say, the workers are not so happy. If you work Sunday, Saturday, you get the same money. Night shift, 60 hours, 80 hours, the same money. So I'm going to first take care for all the workers, and I'm going to bring doctors and just help as much people as I can in every way, special with physio, with kids, with strokes, with anybody without legs and all that stuff. Just make them, improve their life as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so the way the Lord has set it up in our life is we have a lot of connections to Africa, and kind of one of our end goals is we'd like to set up a orphanage in Africa, probably in Cameroon is kind of where we're looking, because that's where one of our students is from. But yeah, we've always had, my wife she used to work at a preschool. She always has had a big heart for kids. And then same here. And we've always said just God's brought a lot of people from Africa into our lives. So that's probably what we did. If we had unlimited funds, we'd probably set that up starting tomorrow. So great question though. Great thought.
That's I was thinking, I think that's great. Look, that's amazing. Like, set up the big things, like, people cannot imagine what are you going to do, what you just say. Like, if you set that up, that's like so huge. I was thinking, I'm planning if everything is fine, to go in India in end of the next year, mid of next year, and I want to meet these kids. I want to go and stay there. I also want to go in India, in Calcutta, and to work in Mother Teresa home, where they have, like, you go there and you do a voluntary work. You pay your expensive, nobody pay you, and you go there and just do free work. I want to do that one time in my life, and my wife says, you just go, I support you, I'll wait for you. And I want to do that next year. That's one of my goals. If we don't have this COVID and all this stuff again, closing all the borders, I was going to go 2 years ago. I was ready. I saved some money, and then COVID happened, and I need to cancel everything. And then and now I feel James, I need to go. I think it's great doing from internet, from phone things, but I feel I need to go right there. Need to go there, get a backpack and get out. Go and help and start helping. You just go to see the kids, go and help one family, second family, third, every day, help a couple of people every single day. If I can, as much as how much I can. If not, I'll fix people. I'll fix their back, their neck, wherever I can do. That's one of my big goals for next 2023. I don't want to buy Porsche. I don't want to buy car. I want my Polo, and I want to go there.
Yeah, for sure. Going in person is like a great way to see what you're doing, making sure that you're getting the money, and you get the full joy of helping those people. If you just send money off, then it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, and you don't necessarily get all the relationship that's built through that too. And ultimately, one of the things I want to do with my giving is point people to Jesus. And I want to tell them the reason that I do this is because Jesus has given me so much, and the Lord's helped me. And so I want to pour that out on other people as well. So one last question that before we kind of wrap up here is, we have a lot of people in the audience here. Is there anything that we can do to help you in your giving? Do you have any special causes that we can give to or help with, or any call to actions? I'm a marketing guy, so I always love call to actions in videos. But what is it
so
we can do right now?
yeah, so basically, if anybody wants to donate, feel free to donate. I can send you the address later on, or I'm sure Chloe is here, she can post it. It's a donation address. If anybody wants to donate any kind of BUSD, USDT, whatever, all of them, they will go for the people. That's first thing. But the biggest thing is, if anybody watching from here, like you, your audience, anybody can do the same video what I'm doing. Like, again, if you're from India, Philippines, Africa, some poor country, very, very needy country, just say, Phil, I'm happy to help. I can do this and this. I can do a video. I need 3-5 minutes video, find a poor people, and let's help. Let's make people to don't starving, at least for a month, 2 months, whatever we can afford to give. This will be amazing, biggest help ever.
That's awesome. Love to Type says, just recalling that video of the whole family with osteogenesis imperfecta that received Phil's help. So,
yes, that's that video. If you can watch it, that was a very emotional. I was crying when I watched. I did cry in a couple of videos, but that was the first video I cried. I will send you the link later. It's very sad. People who have like disabilities. They're born with diseases and they cannot walk. They walk on their knees. It was in the Philippines. We helped them. It was a very sad story. I'll send you the link. It's a very sad story. Yeah.
That would be great. Well, thank you so much, Phil, for hopping on and for just talking with us. Again, I just want this to be something on our mind as we're going forward. And I'd love to kind of maybe just have you back every now and then just to, again, just remind us that, hey, why are we trying to make this passive income? We can get so focused on making money, losing money, that we kind of lose sight of why are we doing what we're doing. And I think that's the most important question. So want to make more content about that. So thanks for hopping on today.
Well, just a huge thank you for having me here. And just to say to everybody who is watching, please spend some time with the families, with friends, families, because the time and the memory what you can build up, they can going to last forever. Just take off your crypto space for a couple of days to get off of this crazy crypto space. Projects will be gone, all of them, but your memories with your friends and family will be stay forever. And also, don't forget, more you give is more you receive. Everything in life. Thanks, James.
Amen. Love that, brother. And yeah, thank you, audience. I hope this was helpful for you. Please do hit that like button. Leave comments about, if you have ideas for what people can do and things like that and things that you've been encouraged by. Again, there's some stigma around, talking about ways that you're helping, but I want to do more content like you do, Phil, where like I was able to, for $5,000, I was able to get a well built for this village in Pakistan. And, I got to meet some of the people there and received, videos of them drinking clean water for the first time in months, and just so rewarding. And I was kind of scared. I don't want to show people that I did that, but I think the encouragement, might be worth it. So I want to do more content like that. So just thank you for what you do and for hopping on today.
You don't even think, just show it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate everybody. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope, Phil, you have a good second Christmas.
Yeah.
And Happy New Year to everyone as well. Thank you.
All the best to everybody.